Web of Venom Empire's End Issue 1 heads into deep space where a Skrull ship happens upon a distress signal from a small escape pod, its signal warning them not to rescue it. The pod is brought on board and upon General Calamari's orders was opened, and inside the Skrulls find Talos, the sole survivor, who awakens and goes crazy, demanding they need to escape before being sedated. Later, after he is calmed, Talos is met by the General, who tells the Skrull he's aboard the General's ship. Talos says that they need to go, but knows it's too late and they are already dead. The General wants to know what the Skrulls found out in the deep cosmos, so Talos says that after successfully defeating the Kurtadi, Emperor Hulkling learned of a deadly pattern seen at the edge of Kree Skrull space, where they lost contact with some of their outposts, with the same thing happening on 3 other planets, the final one being Narat, a small colonial research outpost. On Emperor Hulkling's orders, Talos assembled a crew and headed to the planet, thinking it was just a minor technical error with communications, but he soon realizes the planet had some kind of trajectory path through the galaxy. The team led by Talos and Avrom soon pick up a signal for not just one escape pod, but dozens scattered throughout the planet's orbit. But the scans cannot determine what the organic presence inside the pod is, or if it's alive. Avrom knows the signal is still a signal, so they will have to investigate. Lance and Kia don spacesuits and head out to the pods, looking through the porthole of one, but are unable to determine if they see blood or not. Lance decides to bring one back to the ship, telling Kia to keep his comms open if he's going further out. The Kree continues his search as the pod is brought back on board. Avrom opens the pod and finds a Skrull engulfed in a black substance. The substance is soon realized to be that of a symbiote, which takes over the Skrull. Avrom realizes that this is a trap as the symbiote grabs him, forcing him to order a retreat. Lance and Ethan escape as Avrom is killed by the symbiote, which turns on Lance and Ethan, chasing them as the duo seal the room. The symbiote, however, bursts through the small display window on the door, grabbing Ethan and pulling him towards it as Lance contacts Kia, trying to warn the Kree about the pods, but her signal breaks up. Unfortunately, Kia soon learns what she means as he is besieged by cosmic symbiote dragons. The Kree desperately tries to escape, but is ensnared by one of the riders, whose symbiote gets into his suit and explodes outwards, killing the Kree. Land meanwhile reaches the command center as Talos and the others spot the dragons outside. She learns Kia hasn't come back on board, meaning the man is dead, along with Ethan and Avrom. She reveals the pods were filled with symbiotes and now they are on the ship. Taking command, she intends to get them out of the system, setting them on a course for the Plutarch star system. The ship is suddenly engulfed by the dragons, which begin to consume the ship, breaking into the hangar and spreading throughout it. Ethan meanwhile is overcome by his symbiote, which painfully takes control of him as the entire ship is sealed within the symbiote. Tana says that she has bonded with a symbiote before, but this all feels cold. The view screen glass begins to crack and she realizes the symbiotes are crushing the ship from outside. Lance activates the self-destruct sequence, setting it for 3 minutes, which will give them enough time to get the escape pods and hopefully punch through the symbiotes, covering them. Arming themselves, the 3 survivors head towards the pods, battling the hordes along the way. Tana wants to hold them off for the others to escape, but Talos says that they are all getting out of there together. One of the symbiotes says that they are there to cease their suffering and end everyone's pain. Lance wants to see how light on their feet the symbiotes really are as the gravity is turned off, giving the trio a chance to continue to the cargo hold. With 2 minutes left, the team continue blasting the horde, but the symbiotes begin adapting to zero gravity. Lance blasts the giant monster symbiote coming for them, turning it to goo as one of the symbiotes says he can feel Lance bonded with them before, wanting her to join them again. The symbiotes come for the Skrull Warrior, who says that she would rather die than join them again. The symbiotes oblige her, stabbing and killing her as the others escape into the cargo hold. Inside the hold, Talos and Tana find Avrom suspended in a black goo and calling for death. Talos thinks that they can help him as a voice says that it's too late for him as he is becoming one with the symbiote. Avrom calls them to kill him, so Talos does as a voice says that there will be no forgiveness or mercy this time. Tana gets the pods ready, getting inside as Talos seals her in, saying that only one of them needs to warn the others, whereas he'll stay behind and distract the symbiotes. Tana's pod is jettisoned as Null confronts Talos, saying that they have crept across the universe, dragging the shadow of their planet over the galaxy, one planet at a time, and Talos is next. Talos rushes to his own pod, sealing himself in as Null says that there is nowhere he can hide where they won't find him, knowing that they will reunite soon. Talos' pod blasts off, escaping the cosmic dragons and the horror that has engulfed the ship, which soon explodes in a blinding light, as in the present, Talos hopes that Tana had survived somewhere, not knowing how long he was adrift, wondering why death never came for him. The general tells him that he's a warrior, wondering why he would wish death, but Talos says that the general would as well if he had felt the cold like he did. Talos knows that they should have heeded the signal of the escape pods they first found in space, since it wasn't a call for help, it was a warning not to help. Suddenly, Talos spots something, knowing it's too late as Null and his symbiotes arrive, continuing their crusade of cruelty across the cosmos. Web of Venom, Empire's End Issue 1 saw Marvel's recent Empyre event connect up to the upcoming King in Black storyline in a fun, horror-filled story that, while is fun, is largely separate from everything else, and in the end probably won't end up altering anything or offering up new information. Now that's not a bad thing. The issue really excels at the horror of the symbiotes and the horror aesthetics that come from this unknown force moving across the cosmos, devouring everything within its path, with our characters unable to do literally anything to stop it. It was fun seeing Talos again, and how everyone in the book who has had a run-in with a symbiote at one point or another just be treated like red shirts and killed off in gruesome and horrific ways. Null himself also shows up and is as creepy as ever. I really love the character of Null, and I love his design and his giant dragons that fly through space. It's just so damn cool. I'm looking forward to the upcoming King in Black event, but this one issue was something you don't really need to read unless you just want a fun cosmic horror in the vein of Alien. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.